because I wanted to. This kind of came over the wire, and I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about it, so we're not going to go into what makes a good Star Wars movie as opposed to, you know, whatever. So, bounding into comics, and the headline by John Trent says, newly announced Star Wars, colon, the High Republic host Christina Ariel calls white people racist. So, there's going to be a High Republic TV show. And this woman, she's a black woman. Here, I'll show you I'll show you. So there she is. That's the video. I'm pretty sure it's probably, I can't. So there you go. She's quite the lady. She's a really damaged person. I'll read this. I can officially scream. All right, there you go with that one. And then she goes down here. There's ick. God. So they're basically doubling down on this is, I'm sorry, but give me a break. This is just so bad, it's not even funny. But here's one for her. And then this one. Now, as somebody who, likes Star Wars, as a white woman, as a white person, is married to a white man, this doesn't really help Disney sell movies, sell books. You've got Justina Ireland just spewing racist invective. And then you've got the High Republic Twitter account basically saying, leave this alone, don't you dare respond badly to this or we'll block you. It's almost like they want the division. And to me, I kind of go, what is the point? If this is if this is what you want, this is where you're going, what is the point? And these people need to be confronted. Obviously Christina Ariel is a very young woman, so she probably doesn't know a whole lot about anything. She probably, is not that far away from her college years. And, we all know, anybody with a dose of common sense knows that college is not where you learn about the real world. It's not. You learn about the real world by living in it. And, I kind of, but this is just one of the people that Kennedy's friends, her little flying monkeys, the flying monkeys that, are in the story group, want to represent Lucasfilm. It's my thing is this. You're gonna see this woman say Star Wars is for everyone, except for white men and white women. That's exactly what she'll say. I guarantee you the next time something comes up, she'll post something. They also went and had an artist for The Mandalorian take out Gina Carano and put Rosario Dawson as Rose Tico. Hey Pocket, how you doing? Replace Gina with Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano. Really? Now, you could look at this as this just being a thing, or it could be the fact that Lucasfilm marketing is still under the auspices of what Kennedy is doing. And that was her idea. Because it's really interesting. Anybody working on The Mandalorian, anybody working with Favreau and Filoni, Dave Filoni doesn't go into Lucasfilm. None of those guys do. None of the actors do. the people within that building, the rat's nest, are all Kennedy's people. And so we can assume that somebody within that part who's part of marketing had the artist replace Cara Dune with Ahsoka Tano. And it's just a very unprofessional, petty thing to do. I don't appreciate it. I don't really know anybody who does. It's something that we really should kind of go, what kind of, what's really going on here? And is this really how you want to run a company? I've said this before, I'll say it again. Lucasfilm doesn't have a leader right now. We've got Kennedy on one side, Jon Favreau on the other. Favreau is obviously winning right now because even this, I'll show you again. This Christina Ariel. Even this woman this is all they can do. They don't want to attract anybody who wants to read this. I mean, look at this. She's just, all right, so she accused white women of doing foul shit. I think you got this. What this is, to me, it's mental illness. To me, it's sort of, she obviously doesn't really have any real experience with people out there in the real world. And she's just, she's a racist and a bigot, and you can see that right there in front of your face. You don't need to have it spelled out. My thing is, this is a problem. This is a problem. There's not an audience for this. Okay? And I would be the white woman to fire her. I'd say, look, you can't talk like this about the audience. Do you really want people to read these? And if she said yes, then I would say they're not going to, because you treat them like, well, you're a racist. You, Christina, are a racist. Just like Justina, you, madam, are a racist. Okay? You don't have the right to be a racist. And this is the thing that I've had when I was on Twitter. I had these radicals basically, they say whatever they want. They're allowed. And you can't do that. Regardless of what Twitter says, in reality, you're not making it easy for people to want to work with you. This behavior is unprofessional. And this is why, Lucasfilm now has a professional social media manager. If this woman is working on the High Republic show, she needs to be told, get those tweets off there. I'm not going to ask you to apologize, because you won't. You'll get mad at me. But I will have you never talk about this in public again. You are representing this company, okay? You are acting unprofessional. You are attacking a good segment of the population, for no reason whatsoever. You don't, to me, when I see people make claims like this, like Ireland's claims about white people, and this woman's, this Christina Ariel's claims about white people, they don't have a leg to stand on. They really, really don't. And here's the funny thing. If you look at them, Justina and this other woman, this Christina chick, Kennedy's hiding behind them. So she's basically using them as a crash helmet. These two black women. Now, I don't know about you, but I find that to be really, really bad. Okay? That is racist in of itself. That, she's using people like that to keep her job, keep the what little interest there is in High Republic up there. No one's gonna read it. It's a flop. Everybody knows it, even the people who wrote it. I'm sure in the privacy of their conversations are like, this is horrible. We're getting our asses kicked. Yeah, you are. Okay. You know, it's very interesting to me, uh, you know, looking at all this. But this is another shot across the bow at basically the majority of Star Wars fans who are not going to read the High Republic. Now, another YouTube channel, Star Wars Explained, said they got the first 3 books and loved them. Of course they did. They get the books, they get perks, they get free stuff, they get free passes to Disney World, they get interviews, all the rest of that stuff. So this is, if you understand that, because other people who've looked at these books are like, you're pretty much, you understand that they're full of shit. I mean, they're just there to bolster what support there is for that project. And the funny thing about it is when you start kind of putting 2 and 2 together, there is that they don't like it. I mean, I was just listening to the guys at Midnight's Edge, and the fact that people who said they liked The Last Jedi really don't like it. And the feeling all over Hollywood is that Kathleen Kennedy screwed up. She screwed up. I really think that this is just her holding on, and she's using these women, other women, as a crash helmet. They can say whatever they want. She's hiding behind them, and she's hiding behind them because they're minority, and 2 minorities, women and black women. And you really can't, I mean, Hollywood is such a messed up place. You really can't say anything to them about their racism, unless you're me, because I probably would, and I'd probably fire both of them. It's common sense. You don't want to bring up controversial subjects when you're trying to sell something like this. You don't want to have people that are that hateful, and there's something wrong up there. Seriously. Representing your company, okay? Attacking people who may buy your book. I mean, Ireland herself said, well, if you don't have to buy my book if you don't like my politics. Well, guess what? They're not gonna, okay? And it's not like no one heard her say that. Twitter's basically preacher's corner of the social media world. And if you say something there, you've got a big enough following, everybody's going to hear you say it. Okay? And as someone who looks at what they're doing as a product, representing your company, that's how I would look at it. I'd be offended myself. You cannot represent this company in that way. All right? Period. I mean, and about the Gina Carano thing, I'm not worried for her job. They're not going to fire her. What I think is probably going to happen is Jon Favreau probably made a few calls and said, what are you doing? Okay. Here's the thing. Disney can't afford to lose him. They can't. They can't. They absolutely cannot afford to lose him. They can't, because he's the only one that's been successful. If he goes, Star Wars really is dead. All right, period. It's gone. And I think Iger knows that. I think Chapek knows it. It stops when, Sakori, it stops when people when the bosses, the powers that be in Hollywood, get fed up enough to start firing people. To just basically say, get off Twitter. You know, if you have in your Twitter bio that you're part of this company, you represent this company, then what is said in my name reflects upon me. You, they, they have to start taking an approach like that because the industry, the entertainment industry, not just the film industry, but the entertainment industry as a whole, can't afford it. I mean, you got Jason Momoa attacking Trump fans. I mean, basically telling us on Instagram to go to fuck off. It's like, well, I think you're an ugly, icky, gross, smelly looking dude anyway, and your movies suck. You know, I don't give it. Why would I care what you think? You know, and basically, my attitude's the same way towards Justina Ireland, this Christina Ariel. I mean, to frickin' Claudia Gray, they should not be hired. If they want to do political things, then just go do it. Volunteer for the Progressive Party, but for crying out loud, stop pretending that you like Star Wars and that you care about what you do. I mean, Claudia Gray, during the High Republic author confab, did this, was doing this when she said hi to everybody. Live long and prosper. Wrong franchise. That's Star Trek. I mean, no, it was either she's too dumb to know that. Well, it's not bad mouthing the company. They're bad mouthing it's not that they badmouth the company. They badmouth the customers. That's the problem. You know, I've done several videos about Pablo Hidalgo, and he had a bio one. I'll put it on my community page where he basically is bad mouthing Disney without directly saying Disney in his bio on Twitter. It's like, and that was 2018, the summer of 2018, the late summer, early spring, or late spring, early summer. So, you know, and I'm still not sure that he's even working for them anymore. But as far as Ariel or Christina Ariel and Ireland and Claudia Gray, they're not bad mouthing Disney. They're attacking the fans, the customers. But you gotta remember that geek girl diva who writes for StarWars.com, and she's big on Twitter with her purple hair. She's just disgusting. Oh God, the woman needs to be has to have a power hose taken to her. She looks dirty. She looks filthy, and I don't mean filthy in that way. I mean like, when's the last time you took a bath? You know, this long gray, purple, stringy hair. She's just flabby and paunchy and dirty. It's just nasty. She was attacking the idea that fans are customers. Fans aren't customers. It's like, yeah, they are. They are. We make a product, they consume it, they're customers. They're consumers. All right. The idea that they're not is so, I mean, fundamentally stupid. I can't even begin to describe how stupid it is. It's very sad to me when I see people just getting away with doing it, and something's got to give. I mean, I really do expect, people to be laid off. It'll be big, and I really do expect that this High Republic will, the show won't do well. No one will watch it. No one cares about it. It'll get mocked. They'll probably turn off the comments, which will be really funny. But this won't go well for them. And and part of the reason why is because the host is a racist. One of the authors is all the authors are blatant bigots. And, you know, they're basically being used as human shields to protect Kennedy. All right? Yeah, and that's exactly what they're, she's hiding behind them. Which is, you know, a lot of my friends in Hollywood who are minorities are like the biggest racists in Hollywood are white women. All right? They got Ariel complaining about white women, but it's like, the white women you're complaining about are not racists. The one that, you know, kiss your ass, pander to you, kind of condescend to you, they're the racists. You didn't get the job because you're good at your job. You got your job because we need a black woman in there. I don't care what, you know, and that's wrong. That's wrong. That is fundamentally racist. And the reason simply is this. Not taking consideration, does she have experience? Is she educated enough to do this? Does she have the fundamental qualities we're looking for in this? And it's, you know, lots of times you see minority women like Carrie Hart, see minority women put into spots where they fail. And instead of the person who hired them putting them into a spot that is above their pay grade at the time, not because they couldn't do it, but because the learning curve is big, deep, and long. And you just can't plug in somebody, all right, for a lot of these jobs. She was let go. She was let go. She's working for Ryan Johnson now. But she was minority. And instead of Kennedy getting the hairy eyeball, Carrie Hart got the hairy eyeball. So, let's say High Republic, the show doesn't work. They take it off of whatever streaming or YouTube or wherever they're doing it. And Christina Ariel gets fired. It's not that she was bad at the job. It's that she was fundamentally not prepared for the job. She got the job because she was black, not because she was qualified for it. And, you know, it's very interesting to me how far this goes when you start looking at it, because I've seen it happen in many different places in Hollywood. But you got to remember is common sense doesn't work there. When someone says something common sense, like Gina Carano says something about the mask mandate or whatever, and everyone's like, the usual suspects are freaking out, you know, pissing their pants or whatever. She isn't saying anything that's conservative or liberal. She's talking about common sense. Okay, why is that a political statement? Then you start thinking about that. But that's how these people live and work in the echo chamber they live and work in, which is why people get jobs that they're not qualified for and then fail. And it's not because they were bad at it, it's because they didn't know what they were doing. And when they finally got around to, when people finally got around to saying this isn't working, the person who hired them gets away scot-free. They get to trot away. And it's usually some angry, bitter, feminist white woman. Okay. If you're looking, I mean, there's another black woman at Lucasfilm too, Rain Roberts. She was brought in to the story group. She is now helping the token lesbian there, Leslie Headland, to develop Acolyte. You know, I do not think this show, whatever it's going to be, will ever make it past development. I just don't, because, and if it does, this is good money after bad. No one's going to watch this. And the part of the reason is it's femme-centric. People don't like it. Even women don't like it. It's fundamentally not a Star Wars show at all. It is written by someone who has said some bigoted things to blacks How can Biden be like green light a movie, Frank? Think. He doesn't. He's not the head of Disney. Okay, just where did that come from? Biden, whatever. I don't. We're not talking. You know, okay. Evelyn is a bigot. She hates men. She, she's just not a. I mean, a lot of these people aren't good people, but she's pretty bad. Then you go into Rain Roberts. I mean, Rain Roberts. She kind of left Twitter and has been keeping a low profile. But I'm going to tell you this: if Acolyte gets developed and it bombs, and they only have like half a season, it doesn't even make it to a full season. She will get the blame. Oh, Leslie Headland is just gross. I mean, and I gotta say this: $1,000 to a donut says that she provided Weinstein with women. I bet you $1,000. I mean, we were talking about that on Midnight's Edge that Oprah Winfrey was probably a pimp for Harvey. I'm not gonna go so far as Meryl Streep. I don't see her doing that, and the reason is Meryl is a lot of things, but she does have a slightly, I think, more moral backbone, I think. And here's the reason why I say that. First off, if you know her biography, do you remember the guy that played Fredo in The Godfather? John Cazale. She met him when they were doing a Central Park Shakespeare in the Park production of one of Shakespeare's plays. They fell in love like that. Beauty and the Beast. I mean, he was not a guy I would ever find attractive. And they, for I'm going to say 3 years, but I think it was probably 2, had a massive love affair. They moved in together. They didn't have much money, but they would go out to eat. The Italian restaurants would allow them to just eat for free because it's Fredo Corleone. And he got lung cancer. And he was dying. When they made the Deer Hunter, his last movie he was in, he was dying of lung cancer when he was in that movie with her. And Robert De Niro and Christopher Walken. Yeah. And when he died, she stayed with him. She took care of him. She nursed him. She was there at his side morning, noon, and night. And when he died, it broke her heart. All right. She talked about love the love she had for him in love in a very sort of poignant way. And she's talked about feminism and how it hurts boys because she's got sons. So I don't look at Meryl Streep as being one of the women that provided Weinstein with girls. But I do see Oprah that way because Oprah has not a moral fiber in her being. And at her very core, she's a very racist woman herself. She said something about, she actually had a relationship with John Tesh. And the reality, I think, hit her that he really didn't think much of her when he was looking at her when she's naked. And I'm going, well, it's not because you're black, it's because you're fat. I mean, he got there, it wasn't anything like that, dude. And she's really got an insecure streak through her, and I think she's got an axe to grind. She was in a lot of those films that won The Color Purple with Whoopi Goldberg, directed by Spielberg. She made that movie Precious. I think she was behind that. and it's about living on the street, Chicago, probably the projects, and it's a sad movie, just a very sad movie, and but she turns around and instead of looking around to see where she can, because she's a billionaire, she's the richest woman in Hollywood. She instead of looking around trying to figure out how she can make those people's lives better, what kind of cash infusion can we do to help them bring businesses to these neighborhoods, bring these neighborhoods into a place of civility. She just turns around and blames white people. She waves the flag of victimhood, and it's sad. Now I know that Christina Ariel will tell me I have no right to talk about this since I've never faced racism. Well, I just showed you her tweets. So yes, I have faced racism. From Christina Ariel, Justina Ireland, and I've gotten in other debates on social media where I've actually had women like that threaten my life. Okay. It's like, but you gotta remember, in this day and age, they're allowed because they're black, or they're Hispanic, or they're Asian, or they're trans, or they're radical, gay or lesbians. Those groups are allowed. Okay. No, not really. I don't want to talk politics, Frank. But but this is a problem in Hollywood, and it's a major fundamental problem with Lucasfilm right now, that they don't have people there that know about the franchises that they're working on, and they don't care about the franchises. I mean, when Claudia Gray did that, I was like, I bet she either thinks that's Star Wars because she's or she's like, fuck you to the fans because she knew we would see it. She knew it. I mean, she isn't that stupid, is she? I mean, look around, but when you look at what she's done and you look at what she said, again, like I say, what a person does is more strong, is a better indication of how they really feel about something than what they say. And she doesn't love Star Wars. She doesn't. I mean, she can sit there and say she does, but, when you do this, when you purposely go out of your way in more than 2 novels to erase major characters in the story because they're white heterosexual males, it's like, like that novel Bloodline. I mean, if you haven't read it, don't. I mean, it is such a horribly written book. I can't even, people say I really liked it. You must be very easily entertained then. All right. I mean, it's just terrible. You kind of look at her going, really? You think this is Star Wars? But again, I'm really not worried about these people anymore. It's just very interesting. So I'm going to go because I've been on for a half hour and I got to go see my horse. But I just want to say, hey, how's it going? You guys have a good afternoon, and go check out boundingintocomics.com and see what they've got going on there as far as this host for this new show. Why are they doing a show for the New Republic? Anyway, talk to you later, and see you around the galaxy. Hey, Ms. Aries, what's up, man? Are you done for the day? Cause I think maybe I could stay on for 5 or 6 more minutes. All right. We were just talking about the Bounding into Comics article about that Christina Ariel attacking white people. So, and it's just another indication of where Kennedy's acolytes are are right now as far as, you know, the franchise is going. And I'm wondering out loud why these people still get hired. I know why. We need a black woman in this role. Is she qualified? No. But I mean, she's using them as a shield. I said that. And, you know, what I love about this is this Ariel complaining in her tweets about white women. And it's like, you're being used by a white woman so she can keep her goddamn job. And if you fail at your job, and you ultimately will, you'll be the one that gets fired. Okay? Because you aren't there because you're good at your job. You aren't there because you're uniquely qualified. You're there because she needed someone who she could that she could deflect from. Well, you can't say that because they're black women. It's like they're human. And yes, I can say that. Okay? You know, I don't understand. Oh, Leslie Jones, God. I mean, when I see her, I look at someone who's a really, 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 really insecure woman on like a whole level that I don't even get. I mean, she just looks mean. Doesn't she just look like a mean, miserable witch? Is it me? I mean, but you know, I talked a little bit about Rain Roberts being put with Leslie Headland, and my take is that when this thing either doesn't get developed or just sits in development, hell, that Rain Roberts will be the one to get blamed. It won't be Leslie. It won't even be Leslie Headland, because that's how they do it. I mean, ask Cameron Pasha. That is how they do it. Is they jump in and they say, you know, we want this person has to be black for this role in this company. Person gets a job, they're not qualified, they fail at it, you know, and then they get fired. That's what happened to Carrie Hart. And I think that's probably what's going to happen with Rain Roberts. All right. I don't understand any of this because I don't come from that world. I mean, this is, you know, common sense. Incompetent people come in white, black, red, yellow, purple, chartreuse stripes, right? What's so special about one person over the other? Or what makes that person over there uniquely qualified to lord over and condescend to everybody else because there's something else? They're a abused minority. You know, these are the things that, you know, gotta make you go, you know, and rightly so, as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, I really should go. Maze, I'm sorry, but my voice is going and I gotta go see my horse. So anyway, you guys have a good one. I just wanted to hang out and chat for a little bit, and maybe I'll come back later if something else happens. See you around the galaxy. I know I am. See ya. Bye.